All right, what's going on, guys? It's Coach Jan here. Why on? Okay, cool. So, gonna do some Nagong before going on a little trip with my lady. We're going for her birthday to like a climbing zip line type of experience. So, all dressed for that. With my all black Wellgo USA. Shout out to Wellgo USA for distributing, making all those wonderful kung fu movies. And here, let me just clean this lens a little bit. All right, it's still a little. Yeah, we're gonna do some Nikon. I was gonna do it on my own. No, I was like, I should probably share it. So here we go. Adjust so it's not. There we go. It's better. Cool. All right. Uplifting heaven. Imaginary string lifts you from the top of the head. Relaxation cascades down the body. Fixing the clothing. Let's start out with hands, feet, shoulder width apart and parallel. Imaginary string lifts you up. Cascade relaxation down the spine, through the hips, through the knees. Soften the knees, ankles. And then the hands, idea in your head switches from softness to heaviness. So idea switches immediately. Heavy hands. Heavy hands bring you down with the pelvis rotating on the femur. And then shake the shoulders. Keep the hands facing down. Inhale, breath lifts only the wrists, just the wrists, and release, exhale. Hands go until they come back to center. And then add more movement with the waist and swing and chop on the shin, the back of the leg. Relax all the way through the head, neck, feel the extension. Do it about 5 or 10 times each side. And then comes back to center again, and up and down, back and forward. Come back to center, exhaling, down, 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 drop. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist, exhale out, inhale deep, exhale. Uplifting heaven. You know, I'm feeling a little bit like I want to do some Qigong, some Ape Arcade rather than some Neigong right now. So I'm going to go for that. So we'll still keep doing our gilded pillar. Inhale to the belly, mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth, slight tension in the anus. Inhale, you give the sensation of breathing a color, gathers in the belly. Exhale, it goes down the arms to the palms and fingertips. So you use the color as a vehicle for your attention. Exhale, wash the color out the hands. Inhale, draw the color into the belly. So you're visualizing your breath. Exhale, wash it down. Do about 5 times, 6 times. While you're doing this, checking in with the body. Some people can get a little agitated here because they think that they're supposed to be still. Like, oh, I need to be still. It's hard for me to stay still. I've seen people do that. And it's important to recognize when you're doing an exercise list like this, that the mind is moving. So you're checking in with the body. So you have to have, allow yourself to have a greater experience moving your mind through your body. And in that sense, the agitation can be redirected toward exploration. So you want to redirect your agitation toward exploration. And you check in with the hips. Are the hips aligned? The hips should feel like a bowl of water. They're full bowl of water. You don't want to spill it in any direction, so you check in with the hips. You should feel balanced. You check in with the organs. You look at the muscles around the abdomen, around the intestines, around the stomach, and you check in and you say, okay, are all these muscles soft enough, meaning relaxed enough? Or is there tension in the muscles holding the organs in a certain way? And if there are, you want to minimize the tension. And that'll help the circulation of the body, help to warm the body, because the tension throttles circulation. It makes you colder. So you want to have that fullness, the warmth. Check in with the shoulders, same thing. Check in with the jaw. Check in with the ears, behind the eyes. All muscles in the face. Checking with the muscles that surround organs, surround your bones, around the heart, lungs, just checking in, making sure that there's not too much tension in those areas. And if there is, inhale into the belly and exhale, push the color into the area of the muscle group that has tension and program that color. Give it intent to soften that area. It's as if you're telling that area, when you receive this color, melt the tension away, release. That's if you can't just simply release the tension. And some tension is very deep and actually needs to be like massaged out. So that doesn't mean you still don't do this. You definitely do. And you keep that awareness on that area, softening it with the breath. Inhale to the belly, exhale to the breath. So when you do this exercise, gilded pillar, it looks like you're standing still. You're guiding inside your body all the stuff that's happening, and you have to recognize that you have to use that attention. The color visualization is a vehicle for your attention. So wherever you put the attention on the body, the circulation increases anyway. So experiment with that for yourself, and recognize that when you're doing any particular exercise that might be more overt, let's say like a push-up, and you have to, let's say, make an adjustment in your hips. And here's just a quick example of that. I'm doing a push-up. I'm making an adjustment in my hips to fix my alignment. I'm going down, 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 down. I don't want my belly to touch. I want my hips up, I want my lower back activated, and I'm doing this. So all those little adjustments, I had to use my mind to move to that area just for a moment to emphasize my awareness in that area. So for people who have agitation when standing still here, it's the same mechanic of me making the adjustment in my push-up that is the mechanic of me going, similar mechanic of me going into the area of wherever there might be tension and making an adjustment. It's just more subtle. It's more subtle, it's less obvious to a person, to a third party. And I think a lot of times in our culture, in Western culture, our sense of working out is based on someone else's perception of working out. So like, I need to look like this because that says that I work out. I need to do this thing so people know I'm working out. So there's like detachment from the personal experience in our narratives at times. You want to make it as personal as possible. So really go deep here. Use your mind. Use your mind. Just scan around the body. Scan, scan, scan. Scan the vertebrae. And when you're done with that, and you feel completely soft and aligned, then you focus on the breath more. Again, bring the mind back to the breath, and wash it down the arms with palms and fingertips. See the color come in the belly. Exhale, wash the color down the arms with palms and fingertips. And then you can start the other movements. So you always take that moment. And you can do it in a few seconds, especially when you get really used to it. Now we're doing Uplifting Heaven from the 8 Pieces of Brocade. For those of you that train with me, you know that I do different breathing formulas for this exercise. Right now I'm doing a full breath. When I say a full breath, I mean a full 4-stage breath. It's one inhalation, one exhalation. But the inhalation has stages every time I make a movement. Stage 1, 2, as my fingers flip, 3 as I go down, 4. Every stage the breath gets more intense, the inhalation. And the exhalation washing the color from the belly down the arms, down the legs. Expanding it out like a radar, expanding my awareness. And I've said before on these streams, sometimes I can't, I'm either in the midst of a workout or coaching session or something like that, that's not allowing me to interact with you guys directly. But if anyone wants to collaborate on a stream, feel free to just do that, and we can train. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, breath pushes the nose, looking over the shoulder. Inhale, breath pulls you back. This is called cow gazes at the moon. Inhale deep. Exhale, breath pushes the nose. Inhale, the nose pulls you back to center. Inhale deep, exhale, turn, hold. Inhale, breath lifts the head by the imaginary string. Exhale, cascading relaxation from the neck down to the tailbone. All the vertebrae getting farther away from each other. Inhale, breath lifts the head again. And exhale, turn just a little bit more. Inhale, breath pulls you back to center. Exhale, breath pushes the nose. Hold. Inhale, the breath lifts you up. Exhale, relaxation cascading down the spine. Each vertebrae getting farther away from the last. Inhale, lifts you up again. Exhale, turn the head just a little bit more. Inhale, breath pulls you back to center. Exhale, breath pushes the nose. Nose pulls everything above the hips. Leave the hips behind. Inhale, breath pulls you back. So this is a chain reaction. Exhale, breath pushes the nose. Nose pulls the waist. Everything above the hips. Inhale, pulls you back to center. Exhale. Inhale. This time, hold. Inhale, breath lifts you up. Exhale, cascading relaxation down the back. Inhale, breath lifts you from the top of the head. Again, exhale, breath pushes the nose a little bit more, looking behind you a little bit more. Inhale, breath pulls you back to center. Exhale, breath pushes the nose. Nose pulls everything above the hips. Hold. Inhale. Imaginary string lifts you up. Exhale, relaxation cascading down the spine. Inhale, feel the lift. Again. Exhale, looking over the shoulder. Inhale, breath pulls you back to center. And now exhale, breath pushes the nose. Nose pulls everything, the whole body, the hips, the knees can twist too. Inhale back to center. And when you do the whole body turn, you always have that sense of the imaginary string. I keep lifting my hair to give a visualization for it. Imaginary string lifting you up, maintaining. hold. Inhale, string lifts you up. Exhale, relaxation washes down. Each vertebrae getting farther away from last. Inhale, lifts you up, up, up. Exhale, turn a little bit more. Inhale, breath pulls you back to center. Exhale, breath pushes the nose, nose pulls everything. Hold. Breath lifts you up, up, up. Exhale, turns you a bit more. Cascading down. Inhale back to center. And then start to rotate the nose, each circle getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Notice that I'm rotating my head, my neck. It's really great for the neck muscles. 36 times. Each circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And reverse it. 36 times, each circle gets smaller and smaller. Painting a circle with your nose. Beautiful. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Other hand, this is called separating heaven and earth. This other bladed hand is going to be pressed behind your thighs. One bladed hand behind the thigh, the top of the buttocks, or should I say at the bottom of the buttocks, on the side like this. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Inhale even deeper as the hand passes the collarbone. Fingers, heel of the palm facing the ceiling. Fingers facing the same direction as the nose and eyes. One arm is being lifted up, the other arm is pushing down. Rather than pushing up, it's being lifted. It should feel like it's being pulled by a string. Notice I keep my posture straight rather than bending. The sense of alignment in my spine. And exhale. And it floats down. Other hand coming forward. And then they switch. Breath lifts the wrist. Inhale even deeper. Passing the collarbone. Heel of the palm being lifted up. Other palm pushes down. Exhale. Switch, inhaling out. Separating heaven and earth. Exhaling down. Inhaling out. Exhaling down. Exhale. And this is the bear. This is technically not part of the hip arcade. Inhale up. Exhale down. Just as a note, facing camera now. Exhale. Notice that one hip melts away, disappears. Inhale up. Exhale. An arm comes up gently like a shield. Not too hard. Just the wrist lifting. And the hip melts away. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Hip melts away. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Notice that the imaginary string keeps me lifted from the top of the head. There's a variation of this in which you lean over slightly, and this loads you up for a punch, a reverse breathing punch especially for Grandmaster William C.C.'s Chen style of body mechanics. Boom, boom. That's how he accomplishes Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch. So there's a variation of this, like right here. But right now we're not doing that variation. We're softening, keeping the elbow down. In other words, there's no wind beneath the wings. That concept of wind beneath the wings from reverse breathing Tai Chi, where you have some elbow, let's say an apple worth of space between the elbow. We're not doing that here. This is a Wu style version of this exercise. You're going to exhale. The elbow's just going to stay straight down as if the weight's pulling it down, and only the breath lifts the wrists and melts the hip. Inhaling up, exhale down. Inhaling up, exhale, sinking. So I'm going to face this way again. Inhaling up, exhale. And just so you guys know, I'm going to make sure I do have to integrate this on as much as possible for my streams starting yesterday, is spending some time at the end just answering questions and talking a bit more. So at the end of the stream, if you want to hang around, we're going to go for a full hour. So I'm in Los Angeles, and we'll stop around 10:40 in the morning. Inhaling up. This exercise is wonderful. It gives a very gentle massage to the organs. The intestines. And I'll slow it down even more so you can really get that sense of that center line. Notice how my center line remains going upward. So my center line remains intact even as I switch sides. My awareness of center, as I allow one hip to melt away, the hip that's melting away has less weight on that leg. So it should be easy for that hip to melt away. It'll naturally turn. And I often use this exercise as an example of helping to protect yourself in tight spaces with people, such as on subways in New York. I'm from New York. So when you're on the train, really gently being able to have your shield up, the arm up, to claim your space, protect your space from other people that might smash into you. If you have someone with you, you want to protect them. So whether it's my mom or my lady or my son or anybody else that I might be protecting in some way, shape, or form. These really gentle postures are really great at claiming space without aggression. Claiming space is a very important concept. We use it all the time in Tai Chi. It's part of how we play push hands. As you guys know, I coach the U.S. Tai Chi push hands team, captain of the team as well. So, being able to gently claim space, really powerful. And then if you need to turn that gentle claim into a more aggressive claim, you can. But you've entered gently. And I find that it helps to avoid a bunch of challenges, and just allows you to have a graceful influence on your environment. One last note, keep your eyes forward while you're doing this. So my imaginary string lifts you up, my eyes remain forward on a target that I have. Let's say that target is at the center of my experience visually going forward. My eyes stay on that target. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And now you're starting to get that sense of it's more dynamic when you have the eye line. And you can see how this will start to apply in a martial experience where you might be grappling with somebody, boom, or having them pass by you, allowing their pressure to go past you, doing a particular move, etc. And one more time each side. Inhaling out. I love that exercise. It's one of the first exercises I learned in Wu style Tai Chi. Very grateful to my Sifu Keith Tong. Imagine your strength lifting you up from the top of the head, hollow fists rested on the hips, weight on the heels. Inhale deep, exhale. Pelvis rotates on the femur. This is dragon, whips its head. Inhaling out, exhaling down. Breaths you feel like a rope you're climbing, exhaling. And reverse it. Notice that there's minimal movement on the legs, so the hips aren't moving, or I should say the knees aren't moving. You're doing your best to keep them stationary. They're just agreeing with going forward and back as the hips go forward and back, counterbalancing. Drop the hands. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist. Exhaling out. Inhale, pull across. Exhale, drawing the bow. Inhale, eye and the middle finger. Exhale, sink and sit. Inhale deep. Again, there are many variations of this exercise, drawing the bow. This is one of them. Inhale, eye and the middle finger, color visualization pulling through my arm, extended into my belly. Exhale, uncoiling, pushing the breath into my index finger. Hand comes in front of the heart. Shoulder blades disappear into the upper back for this variation. Now I'm going to do 6 seated, my half horse stance. Notice I'm using the waist, not the hips, for this movement. It's important to train waist power and hip power separately and then integrate them. Gives you a nice extra massage and deeper flexibility in the waist, deeper control. Imaginary string maintains the posture. Now I'm going to use the hip. When the hip turns, the knee pushes out. In other words, there's a separation so that the knee doesn't pull and drag with the hip. Again, giving you greater control, greater awareness, greater flexibility. It's one of my favorite exercises. Inhale deep. Exhaling. Jolting. Exhale, push onto the balls of feet. Inhale, pull your heels down. Exhale. Inhale. Looks like a calf raise. It is not. Exhale, push the collar down to the ground. Inhale, pull from the heels up to the belly, like you're picking up your pants. That's how the breath visualization goes. Exhale, down the legs. Inhale, up. Exhale into the ground. Inhale, clamp the heel into the ground as the color comes up into the belly. It's like a circuit, color visualization circuit. Exhale down. Inhale. Do about 10. I'm going to put my heels together like a plie, knees going out, and same thing, 10. Inhale, the heels clamp into the ground. And now I'm going to turn my feet so that my toes face each other and soften the knees. Going up. Time?
10,
I gotta go to 10:40.
What?
I'll go to till 10:40, so I'll straighten in the car a little bit. Okay, feet 2 fists apart. Inhale, breath. Lift the wrists. Wrists lift the hips, fingers reaching back. Chest up, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. It's called grasping the toes. Pressure down, soften the knees as you exhale deeper, and then inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Wrists lift the body. Fingers to the back wall, chest to the ceiling. Hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, push the color through the hands. Exhale even deeper, bend the knees. Inhaling up. Fingers back, chest up. Hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back. Do about 6 of these. And the color visualization should feel like you're pushing the color out, painting with it. And the posture should feel like Superman, like you're flying through the air when you go back and exhaling, pelvis rotating on the femur, hands going forward. So that line through the tailbone should feel like you're flying through the air as you push the color out. Soften the neck, the shoulders, exhale, soften the knees. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. It's as if you're painting with the backs of the fingers, the tops of the hands. The wrist gliding along an arch of energy. Inhale, reach back. Fingers up, chest up, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhaling back. Soften the knees. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist. Exhale out. Inhale deep. Widen the stance. Inhale. Exhale. Clenching fists with angry eyes. So you furrow your brow a little bit, make a little frown. Exhale, push the color of the breath through the knuckles, index and middle finger knuckles. These are similar to reverse punches to karate, kung fu reverse punches, because you are doing a twist, hollow fists, and then at the end, gentle squeeze. However, this is focused on generating the experience of the color visualization rather than a pull and push of the hands. So it's the color visualization alone with the mechanic of simply putting the limb in a direction. Inhale deep. So there's no twisting of the waist. The breath pushes out from the belly through the shoulder blade up, gentle squeeze, half horse stance, half. And then you inhale and you pull the color visualization. I recommend orange going into the second chakra, which is the orange one in yoga, and it should feel like fire, specifically for this exercise. Exhale fire from the belly, through the arm, through the index and middle finger, punching to the side. So it's forward, forward, side, side. To the other side. Inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale deep. I often find this the most challenging of pretty much all the Neigong exercises and Qigong exercises, because of how subtle this one is. You really have to spiral your visualization through your knuckles, the breath, to get a deeper experience. So it always gives me a nice little challenge. And you want that breath visualization to go an inch or two beyond the knuckle. And once you put it out there, you reel it back in like a fishing line. So you exhale out, and then you pull the visualization back in with your breath and visual. Excuse me. One more set. And bring the feet back together. And that was the 8 brocade. Uplifting heaven again. And why do the 8 brocade? The 8 brocade is really great at just gently easing. I find great at gently easing me into my day. Sometimes I don't want to train too hard, but I still want to get the circulation going. And when I say train too hard, I even mean the Neigong. So the Neigong exercises can be sometimes a little, you just may not want to do it on that day. And like, I still want to feel the circulation, the chi, the running, etc. So the 8 brocade is awesome for that. And it's the most widely taught Qigong set in the world. It's cool. It's cool. But it's not power building per se. The only exercise that I would consider Neigong within, Neigong means like the power expertise. The only exercise that I would consider truly Neigong in the 8 brocade is drawing the bow. And again, there's so many variations of drawing the bow, and there are variations that I would consider not Neigong. So, and Qigong is like weightlifting for intention. They're just more intense exercises. And we're going to do some of it right now. Let me check the time. Let's see, we're going to go for another 20 minutes, and that means that of that 20 minutes, a few minutes I'm going to spend just talking with you guys. So before we go for the Qigong, let's just put the hands on the hips, and we're going to do big circles. Feet are shoulder width apart, parallel. And what's going on? What's going on? Sure, you're training?
Hello. Welcome.
Okay. Doesn't seem like you're training. So.
Help. Who's Goofy? Coach training. Oh, he's gonna train us. Okay.
Yeah, we're training right now.
Help, no. Train with them.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, he followed us. Yay! Thank you.
Alright, guys, are you training?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? How odd. Alright, 1 second.
Who go?
Alright, guys, so we are back to training. We're going to finish this up. Okay. So, hands on the hips, big circles around, and then we're going to reverse it. And I really recommend painting with the hips. In other words, you're painting a circle. All of this stuff is for you to get more control. You know, so like you want to have more control over your mobility, more control over your flexibility, in general, the greater awareness for anything that you're doing. So when you do an exercise like this, when I was first taught in Shaolin, you go super fast, and I definitely still do that, but you want to build up to the speed, and I recommend that for anything. When you slow yourself down, you speed up your perception. So slow yourself down, use that to speed up your perception, because you can slow yourself down and not pay attention. So actually pay attention, and pay attention by playing games with yourself to help you measure your success in these experiences. So your success in this experience is soften imaginary string lifting from the top of the head, cascading relaxation down the spine, hands on the hips, and then start to paint with the hips as if you're drawing a circle around you. The inside of the perimeter of the circle, painting it. And go for about 5 times. One direction. And then reverse it, another 5. And where does your mind, if this happens to you, where does your mind drift off? Meaning, what part of the circle does your mind drift off? Really ask yourself that. Because it just happened to me. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. I started thinking about something else. Oh, we got to bring it back to painting the circle. Reverse the direction again. Paint the circle. And do your best to visualize. This is part of why the visualization is important. Visualize every bit of the circle you're painting with the hips. And as you do that, you might even be able to see visually, with your imagination, where you're missing spots on the circle, because your mind didn't go there enough. So I'm missing a spot right here, so I have to keep my mind active. Yeah. And it's really awesome. These games we can play with ourselves. Remember, all these experiences, reverse it, are self-generated. The more you can self-generate certain types of experiences, the more control you have over your experience, the more control you can exercise over your environment. I'm using the word control because oftentimes people think that you can't control certain things or etc. So I'm talking about actively being able to influence and impose your will on environments, on people, ideally in the most productive ways and in the most beneficial ways for situations. But the imposition of will is part of what a champion can do. So you have to use your will, you have to impose your will, and train yourself to, have the wisdom to impose will that is for the benefit of the highest good. So really just make sure that you're training your willpower right now by training your attention. And you're training your attention by painting this circle, keeping the mind on it, and seeing where the gaps are. Imagine the circle is the image you're painting as clean and clear as possible. Uplifting habit again. Check the time one more time. Okay, let's go for some Neigong right now. And we're gonna do big orbit Neigong for 10 minutes. And the first exercise, boom, you're seated, half horse stance, holding as if, notice that my arms are gently inflated on the side, triceps slightly inflated, fingers, palms facing up, fingers facing each other. We're gonna inhale using big orbit breathing, inhaling up the front of the body, down the back. If you are trained to do up the back, down the front for your big orbit breathing, please do that. Don't do it the way I'm doing it. But don't switch it up. So it's just, in traditional Chinese medicine, not necessarily from my understanding, considered the right thing to do. So if you've been trained up the back, down the front, which a lot of yoga people do, that's totally fine. I'm going to inhale up the front, exhaling down the back. Slight tension in the anus, mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. Those are the positive and negative points in the body that are like a battery connecting the slight tension anus, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. Connects the conception vessel, all the energy running up and down the front of the body, to the governing vessel, all the energy running up and down the back of the body, again, in traditional Chinese medicine. So, mouth closed, inhale, roll the breath up the front, 6 breaths down the back. The awareness should feel like it's rising and falling, like a tidal wave up the front, like a waterfall down the back as you exhale. And then turn the palms down, fingers facing each other. Notice that my shoulder blades are gently disappearing, not too hard, but gently disappearing into my upper back. Notice that this, if you take one away, you have a blade, this blade that's used in judo. Keep your opponent away or insert the hips. So we have these double blades here. They can be used many different ways. They can be used as double overhooks. So coming outside in grappling also. You can be used so many different ways. 6 breaths. And then, hugging the tree, the most famous of the Qigong exercises. Hugging a tree. Shoulder blades disappearing into the upper back. 6 breaths. Palms facing out. 6 breaths. Notice that I make adjustments in my legs to work different parts of the muscle. Also helpful if you have like any soreness in the knee, etc. Making sure you keep your weight on your heels so the knees don't get too much pressure on them. Helps to keep pressure, minimize pressure on the kneecaps, keep the weight on the heels. Palms facing each other above the head. Shoulder blades forward, weight on the heels. Inhaling up the front, down the back, 6 times. Palms facing forward. 6 breaths. Inhale up the front of the body, standing up. Exhaling, hands floating down the front as if you're pulling a giant lever. 6 breaths. Inhaling up, sliding your hands on a wall. Exhaling. When you go up, there's a sense of the rotation of the shoulder blade going forward, rotating this way, scooping up as you go up and down. And that ties into certain Tai Chi push hands mechanics for grappling. To the base of the shoulder blade, going up the point of the scapula. And now inhale to the side, exhale. Inhaling up, exhale back. This is called woman's womb. Is the earth. Inhaling up, backs of the hands touch. Exhale, sink and sit. Inhale up, exhale down. Eyes of the belly button. Inhaling up, exhaling down. From the side. Inhaling up, exhale down. Inhaling up, exhale down. Shoulder blades stay forward as you go back, like you're holding the earth. And exhale, washing down. Inhaling up. Exhale, washing down. So we're about to finish up here, stretching. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale, draw the collar up. Exhale, wash it down the leg. Inhale up, step forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale out, sink and sit. Switch sides, look behind you, same thing. Exhale, push yourself down. Inhale up. Exhale out. Switch sides. Exhale, push down. Sink. Unless I have the knee up. And switch. And switch. Notice my knee's going to go on the outside this time. Switch. Inhale deep. Exhale into it. And switch. Knee is going to drop down. I'm going to lift my chest up a little. And switch. Exhale down. Extending to the hip. And bring both back. Exhale down. To the side. Coming up. Sucking the belly button. forehead to the tailbone. Inhaling out, tailbone out. Suck the belly button. Inhale out. Walk yourself up, feet in. One hand, back of the hand on the foot, inhale up. Exhale down, switch. Inhale up. Exhale down, switch. Inhale up. Exhale down, switch. Inhale up. And slapping up, up. Inhaling as you come up the inside of the arm, down the outside, the inside, down the outside, over the shoulders, down the back. Second belly button coming out. Exhale down 3 times as ocean of blood returns to the source. Up the hands together around the chest and tapping around. Up and down on the sternum, collarbone, either side of the collarbone. Chin, relax the reproductive organs. Up, up. And back of the neck. Up on the face to the side, up to the side, to the side. Fingers to the scalp, front to back, back to front, front to back, back to front. Massage, front to back to front, slapping, front to back to front, hollow fist, gentle bang, back to front. Massage the scalp, 1, 2, 3, release, 2, 3, release, 2, 3, and reverse it. Top of the forehead, reverse temples, reverse under the eyes. Flick the fingers out, thumbs out. 1, 2, 3, grab. Inhale, white line to the belly. Spread to the whole body. 2 more. One more. Have gratitude for the body, space you're in, the good people in your life. So I am going to take a 5-minute break, and I'll come back and I'll stream a little bit, and I want to answer any questions you guys might have. So, but I'm going to get ready. We're going to jump in the car, so I'll be talking from the car. So maybe 5 minutes or less. I'll see you in a second. Thank you. What's going on, guys? So, thank you for training. We're headed to, it's my lady's birthday. It was actually her birthday on Sunday. So, we're headed out to it's like an adult playground kind of thing, like with there's zip lines and other stuff. So, we're headed over there. But I want to make sure that I keep getting better at these streams and just being able to communicate with all the wonderful people joining the train. So, I would love to know if you have any thoughts, questions, ideas, if there is any ideas I can expand upon, and also just like where you guys are coming from. Like I checked the analytics, but if you're training in a particular area, feel free to shout it out in the comments. Or and if you were training earlier, you might have seen that I accepted. This happens almost every time I accept a collaboration with somebody on the stream. It's just like the person who joins is not necessarily like doing the thing that we are doing on the stream. And that is always a little frustrating because I'm just like, well, we're doing this thing and the folks who are on the stream are like enjoying that thing and we're building that thing. So I'm still figuring that out when it comes to doing this stuff. What? Sneakers. There we go. Cool. I found sneakers that I could wear that I can get really dirty, so I love that. Then when I'm wearing my new ones. All right. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself if you are new. I coached U.S. Tai Chi push hands team, which is the grappling sport of Tai Chi. It's my favorite sport to play, and huge part of my life. I was the captain of the team. I previously fought Sancho, which is Chinese kickboxing and Mongolian wrestling, and did that semi-pro under Coach Li Tailang, who's the big coach out of Beijing. And so, it's a huge part of my life. I love this stuff. And I love sharing it. And you also may know me from Justice for Hire, which is our show that if you check Justice for Hire on TikTok, you'll see what we're doing there. It's really fun. It's a martial arts action series. Anybody can join the cast right from their phone. So it's a pretty big deal for what I work on every day outside of Tai Chi for my production company. And
Did you put the teapots off?
Our technology company, Real World. So teapot is off. So yeah, I love sharing this stuff. I love martial arts. Martial arts has opened every door for me across the world. And
You have your ID, right?
yeah, bring this with me and see what this is. And I have a son, and I love reminding him that martial arts is super important too, and that when you do, it doesn't matter what style you do with martial arts. Martial arts trains a particular certain character traits that I think are just so transferable across the world. And I say to my son, any dojo you walk into, anywhere is your home across the world. And to be able to expand that sense of home to just the entire world in general, I think it's a very important skill to train. So, essentially using martial arts as a way to train oneness and unity, I think is important. So, I love sharing that stuff. I love sharing that from that perspective. And, if you ever have a thought, question, or idea, I'm always happy to make a video just for you, put it out here. Of course, I like to share the teaching moments for everybody. So I'm just going to check right now to see if anyone put anything in the comments up to this point. And if that's the case, I'll address it. And if not, we'll just be heading out. Let's see. And again, I'm in Los Angeles, and my father's in New York. He's a 4-time Tai Chi World Cup champion. I have 3 World Cup titles. Really? Yeah. Must be shoes or something like that, right? No, or might. Really? So yeah, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and sending lots of love. And I'll be streaming again tomorrow, more than likely. So I'll see you then. And of course, all these streams, and if you just check my YouTube channel, I have thousands of hours of content, literally thousands of hours of content. So So yeah, so check that out, and it's youtube.com/JansTaiChi or /World Push Hands, same channel. And I love you guys. Have a great day, and happy holidays to everybody.